Thank you for your time. The questions I'm going to ask were formed by a group of King College Prep High School students who are interested in addressing and starting a dialogue about topics most important to our peers, neighborhood, community, Chicago, etc. We are still in the process of gathering feedback related to some of our questionnaire topics, and your answers and opinions are very important to the parts of this process. At the end of this survey, please give us feedback on how to improve this process for future interviews and suggest questions that you would like to ask your community.
All right.
Okay? So state your name and your relationship to me.
My name is Fallon Armster. I am the foods executive, catering manager at 111 Events at Macy's.
Right.
I am TanaeBoss.
Okay. Where are you from? Like which neighborhood in Chicago?
I am from the south side of Chicago. Still currently live there.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
All my life on the south side of Chicago.
Okay. Everyone plays a role in their community, even if you think it's small. So what, in your opinion, what's your role?
Just being in hospitality in general. I think that it sometimes can be seen as a dying thing in our community.
How have you been impacted by your community? And if you lived in a different community, how would it be different?
In my community, I just recently moved back into the east side of the community. One of the reasons that I wanted to move back on the east side opposed to the South Loop, which is already a flourishing, growing community, I wanted to go back to the roots of where I came from because we need a lot of positivity in our community and a lot of support. We want to get a lot of people in my culture, kids like yourself, growth and mentorship to make sure that they can also come up and do and act in the same behaviors that I present to my colleagues today. So that is my give back, just trying to train our youth into becoming the young adults that I know that they can be.
Okay. How do you think your community is viewed by others?
Well, half and half. I think that sometimes people are a little stuck in their ways of what the community used to be instead of concentrating on what the community should be and can be. Right now in the community that I live in, which is also Jackson Park, it's also being flourished. We're going to have the Obama Library coming. So I do think sometimes people feel that it's standstill in certain areas on the south side, but they have to look at the growth that we're working on to become one of the standard communities that we know it can be.
Okay. All cities have to deal with issues like violence. How does the issue of violence in Chicago compare to other major cities?
I'm a little indifferent. I do have a 15-year-old son, so violence in our community is alive and well, no matter if it's the south side, if it's the west side, even downtown or the east side. Violence has affected it like in mass amounts. And the difference between Chicago and other communities, we have so many people, so many personalities, the diversity that we have just all around. That is why when you have that many people with those many diverse minds, if we don't give back to our community, this is why the violence comes about. So back to your question about can we do to impact, be a parent, make sure your children know exactly what they need to know so violence kind of can scale back a little bit, because if they have proper training or they have guidance, we won't have as much violence as we have had in the past.
Okay, and lastly, how do you see Chicago in the future?
I see Chicago in the future. You gotta have hope. You gotta have growth, and you have to have faith. I have faith in my community. I have faith in my city, and I have faith in my peers that we need to get it done with our community, with our job, with our kids, with determination, with dedication. You can make any community flourish, no matter where you're from, no matter what you're doing, and that's what people need to have as a mindset. It's about the mindset. So I think if individuals like yourself and our youth as well as adults have that type of mindset, I think that the city will be fine as it has been.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.